All right, family, good morning and welcome to Well Said with Kim and Vic. And thank you for joining us on on the YouTube channel Seeking Educational Excellence. And please make sure you like,
share,
and subscribe.
Okay.
And
also, we would love for you to make comments in the bottom. And if you do so, we'll respond right back to you.
yes, we will.
Okay.
And also make sure you check out the website, seekingeducationalexcellence.org.
Yes.
Our whole idea behind what we're doing is education.
Exactly.
And on the website, it's a great resource, not only for students, parents, and teachers.
Yes.
And it really we really focus on educating, especially K through 12.
Yes.
Helping them with critical thinking skills. And like I said before, we definitely want to help educate adults.
Yes.
But if you're not open to it, this is not for you.
Yeah.
This medicine is for people who are open to learning.
Because critical thinking is the biggest part that children are facing today. Being able to think critically and then being able to follow it out in instructional learning.
Yes.
And we see that we have a deficit.
Yes. Sorely lacking. So we're going to put some punch and some power behind that and bring it straight to your head.
Yeah.
And with some knowledge.
Yes.
So we're continuing. This is part 3 of our series on policies that affect the Black community.
Yes.
We're going to dig a little bit deeper into the 3 different policies that we talked about. The Platinum Plan by President Trump and his administration.
Absolutely.
Ice Cube's plan, Contract with Black America, and Joe Biden's plan, Build Back Better.
Or bullshiggity plan. Okay. We can do that too.
So I kind of want to start off a little bit with the Build Back Better plan. And it was something that stuck out with me and Vic. It was a couple of things that stuck out. Number one is the minimum wage, and I'll talk a little bit about that and how it really has a negative effect or impact on the Black community.
Yes.
And then the other thing that we've been noticing is that already, even though he's not president yet, but a lot of groups are vying for his attention. And in the Black communities, 2 things are very prevalent. He said nothing about reparations. Not that we agree with reparations, but in his plan, there's nothing about reparations.
But he did run on that.
Yes, he did
run on that.
And that's the typical politician stuff. See, that's why President Trump always talks about promises made, promises kept.
Yes.
And in Joe Biden's plan, it's clear that some of the promises that he made, he's not going to keep.
And you know what, sis? Right now, isn't it a discrepancy with BLM we were talking about?
Yes, and BLM is screaming. The one of the founders, I think her name is Patrice Cullors, is screaming that they want a place at the table, and he's totally ignoring them.
He's not even answering them.
So Black folk, please, we implore you, pay attention to what's going on. If you voted for him, pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
So in particular, we are going to focus on his plan about the $15 minimum wage.
And how realistic or unrealistic
or how it negatively affects the Black community. One of the things we talked about before is that Black people, by and large, and we even looked at this information as far as on an economic scale. We, for the last 20 years have been we have a high representation in poverty.
Yes.
Some of the poverty levels. And what we found really was very interesting is that all during Democrat administrations, the poverty level was high. And then when President Trump came in, we started seeing a dip in the poverty level amongst Black people. So what that can tell you, if you look at the data, is that his policies are positive for the Black communities. Because if our poverty level is going down, we want not to be in poverty.
Exactly.
But what we did notice during the administrations previous, even during Baby Black Jesus administration, Barack Obama himself, the poverty level was
very
high. in the Black community.
And you know, and speaking about that, let me just give you guys a little history lesson about the Black community and how this has affected us. Prior to 1960, slavery, we all know there were 2-parent homes. During slavery time, there were 2 people in the house.
Even as slaves, y'all.
As slaves, because you know why?
We had our mama and our daddy.
You know why? Because the slave master knew the importance of dual familyship.
Wow, go figure.
Okay, and then in 1940, 80% of Black household in poverty declined. 47 prior to 1960, before the Civil Rights Law, prior to Johnson's giveaway.
The welfare.
Welfare. There you go.
That's what we call, yeah.
Before affirmative action, poverty rate was around 30% amongst Black people. Wow. Black households, a decade after, it was 29%. Homicide rates for Black males in 1940 declined 8%.
Wow. Now, mind y'all, this is during Jim Crow, before civil rights, all of this.
Okay.
That Black folks, we did very well.
Well, 1960 reversed, 89% rose up.
Wow.
One decade wiped out prior decades because of the high numbers.
Wow.
Did you see that?
Yes, and that's where we go back to the policies that now we're not necessarily saying it's causation, but there's definitely a correlation between certain policies and how well the Black community does.
Yes.
So in Joe Biden's plan, like I was saying, he's pushing a $15 minimum wage. So I was able to get some interesting information from Matt Taylor's book.
Oh, you guys got to get this book. Okay.
Shout out to Matt.
Y'all got to get this book, okay?
The Assault on Freedom in America.
And we had him join us on our
other YouTube channel.
YouTube channel. And
at The Closet Conservative.
And he has also was endorsed by Trey Gowdy. Mm-hmm. He was endorsed by several other political leaders.
Right. It's a great book.
But I'm telling you, this book is just so timely.
Yes.
Right now, you can pick up that book right now and you can find America right there.
So I'm going to give you a quick lesson on economics and how when you manipulate the market with an arbitrary number, how it affects
your outcome.
Exactly.
It affects the outcome.
So we're big proponents of free market capitalism.
Yes.
And Joe Biden, and even though in the past he was like that, recently it seems like he's leaning more towards socialism.
Yes.
One of the tenets of socialism is price fixing.
Mm-hmm. Okay? Just like the election.
So let me give you a few facts about economics and how the free market works. Fact number one, that no number is arbitrary. Numbers that come about on the market are negotiated between whoever the buyer is and whoever the seller is. So the market dictates the price, not the government, okay?
Exactly.
Fact number two, each number is part of a link of numbers like costs, expenses. So if you go into business, you have a lot of expenses in order to bring a service or a product to market, and then the market dictates what that price is going to be, not the government.
Exactly.
It's an agreed upon negotiation, okay? Number three, 2 principal numbers exist in the market. That's cost and that's price. So when you think about the minimum wage and they're trying to make a $15 minimum wage, that's the price, but at what cost?
Yeah.
Remember that. That's very important. Fact number 4, if cost increases, then price increases.
And see, and that's where you have people serving up a $5 burger, okay, $6 burger, and then they're getting $15. Do you actually think you're going to continue to pay $6 for that burger? No, you're going to pay $10 for that burger, or more.
Or what the business owner is going to do. This is what you got to understand. If you increase a business's cost, they have to find other ways to cut costs. So if you increase the labor cost by making a business have $15 an hour minimum, well, guess what? Jobs are going to be lost.
Yes.
Because the business in order to stay in business, they have to keep their costs down. So if the cost of labor goes up, they're going to have to cut costs other places. And a lot of times, they're going to cut employees.
And
that's
so
a
that
fact.
means you have to wait online longer. Or maybe they don't even have to do that.
Or the business is going to go out of business.
But you don't even have to do it. Let me just say this. You see the kiosks, right? You have to walk up to the kiosk and you have to place your order. Mm-hmm. So, okay, you're eliminating a number of jobs. Yeah. Okay, you see Walmart. Walmart has
self-checkout.
And they have more and it's becoming less and less cashiers open. Okay, and you have now usually 2 self-checkouts, one on one end and one on the other, because they're saying that we don't want to eat the cost.
Exactly, and that's a whole nother discussion we can have about economics, because that's how you can be viable economically. You have to bring value to the market. So you want to be able to bring something that a machine cannot replace.
Yes,
and the market supports bringing these machines in, because I hate to break it to my people, but being able to do a cash register or ring up stuff does not take a whole lot of skill. That's just the reality of life. I don't want to break it to, I hate to break it to you, but we're going to be honest with you. Yeah. Because we family here. We're going to tell you the truth.
We black family.
So, right. Fact number 5 is profit is good. You're here all the time in the media about greedy, business on greedy corporations, and they had all this profit. Profit is good. And here's why profit is good. If there's no profit, there's no business, and there's no jobs. That's just the bottom line. So these are the hardcore facts about economics. So when you start talking about enforcing a minimum wage, what it does is it costs jobs. It does not increase jobs.
But the other thing too, it's not that it takes away jobs. The thing about it is that it takes away from you, because now what they do, they hire illegals. Illegals take your place. You're no longer needed. They can get that illegal to work for $15,
and they can pay them under the table.
And this is the reason why when we say that we want illegals here, you have to be careful with your verbiage, because when you say I agree with illegals coming here, illegals replace you.
You're hurting yourself.
You're hurting yourself.
That's
so
right.
I mean, just be very careful when you're saying that the president is being racist and evil and mean. No, he's saying he's watching out for the platinum plan, the black platinum plan, the plan for you to make that $15 an hour, preferably over that illegal that shouldn't be here in the first place.
The president, that's okay. Look, you can rant, baby, because sometimes we need to rant to bring home a point. So we're contrasting and comparing the different plans, because with a $15, and that's just one aspect of it. It's a lot of other stuff, but we just wanted to bring that point home, because with black folks being, in so high in poverty, the first ones who are going to be affected is the black folks by a $15 minimum wage, because number one, like Vic said, they'll hire the illegals to take those jobs. And number 2, the employers are going to cut costs. Absolutely. And one of the first things they're going to do is get rid of employees. And number 3, being at the lower end of the economic totem pole, we're the ones who are going to be first affected by it.
So what I'm getting ready to say is that you want the platinum plan.
Pow, pow, because it packs a punch. Yes, it does.
I love that one. I love this thing.
And then I do want to bring into the fray Cube's plan, because he's kind of a mix between the platinum plan and the build back better, the bullshiggity plan. So anyway, so a couple of points to talk about with the contract with Black America. One of his number one tenets was a bill to guarantee black opportunity and representation. Now, for us, that smacks a lot of quotas or special treatment. And we personally believe, and I know for me too, especially for me, I saw, my eyes opened up during affirmative action and seeing how special treatment really hurts us more than it helps us.
Because it makes you feel like you can't learn on the same scale as your counterparts.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with my brain.
That's basically what special treatment is saying. Basically, I see it two ways. I'm too dumb.
Yeah.
Or I'm not smart enough to be able to accomplish anything without somebody outside help.
I did very well myself.
Which promotes a victim mentality. Like,
absolutely.
There's nothing we can do. We always need help from the outside. And back to Vic's point about during Jim Crow.
Yeah.
During that 100 years between slavery and 1965, the black family did very well. Black Wall Street existed during Jim Crow.
Listen, they had their own. Listen,
the black family was intact.
It was like their own Wall Street, their own money, their own everything you could have imagined that was in that Black Wall Street. And the thing about it is that because people don't know history. Let me just put this to you straight to your head with no chaser. Okay, it's the bottom line is that people don't know history, and when you don't know history, you are
bound to repeat it,
being fooled by your opponent. You have nothing to fight with. You have no armor. You coming in there just straight. You don't even have a pistol. Okay, because you just you better be strapped.
We won't even talk about them trying to take your guns away with the Second Amendment,
because you walk in and you're saying this is what's happening, but you're fighting the people that want to help you. The people that want to give you an opportunity. Right. The person that want to bring it to you.
Get rid of poverty in the black community.
And you're saying all of these things, but I think you're fighting the wrong person. The persons that you should be fighting, I'm sorry, is the Democrat Party. And they're the ones who put all of these things in place between 1880 down into 1890 with the gerrymandering and all of you. Stop pointing. See, that's the thing with us black people. You know, it's like we don't want to take the time to be educated. And then when we are trying to educate you, you buck. You resist. You find some type of excuse why you don't like my shirt because my shirt, you don't like it. So you're going to find something wrong with me. But instead of just taking the time and saying, thinking critically, what is she saying? And it is what she's saying affects me. How can I apply it? You know, is there any sort of truth to it? Can I look into it instead of bucking and fighting against it? And what you need to do is to educate yourself, because see what will happen is if you educate yourself, you won't be bucking and fighting against me. You're gonna buck and fight against that other system that's really holding you back.
Right. So one more point before we go, sis, about the Cube's plan. That was one of the issues that I had. Is there are several points where he wants special treatment for the black community, and I just don't think that's a good idea for us. We just want equal opportunity, not special opportunity.
Nope.
But another part of his plan that I did like was point 13 is black responsibility.
Oh yeah.
And about how chronic poverty creates negativity and stuff. But these are things that we have to deal with, that we can't expect somebody to always come save us. That we have to take responsibility for the condition of our own community. Yeah. For that, to me, he gets big kudos, because I absolutely agree.
And the thing about it is that throwing paper in the street, I hate when people do that. Throwing paper in the street. Yeah. Cans in the street. Bottles in the street.
Right.
Why are you throwing it in the street? Take it home, put it in the garbage
can. Because they don't have any skin in it.
You know, it's just like, and that's the problem. When you don't have, with the black, this is people. It's not black, white, it's people. If you don't have a skin in the game, you don't care.
That's right.
It's just like having, a friend of mine builds housing for low-income housing, tax credit building. And what he told me was that, he says, you know, Victoria, what I've seen is that, and these communities, it's like when you first put them up, they're beautiful, they look so nice. And he said, you come back 3 years, years later, you say 4 years, and then you're at around the end of that 4th year, 5th year, you start seeing the dilapidation of the property.
Because there's no ownership.
Because there's no ownership. There's no skin in the game. You don't even tell your children not to have the dog walking on the grass pooping. You don't even pick up the poop because you feel it's not your property.
Right.
Oh, the maintenance will take care of it.
That's right.
So, it's a mentality thing. It's not a race. It's a mentality thing. If you don't have anything in the game, you don't feel that you should do anything extra or over what you're doing because you feel like it ain't mine anyway. And I have a problem with that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go off y'all again.
On another rant, on a tangent, that's okay, sis. We need them sometimes. So on that note, we highly suggest that y'all get y'all Black Trump card.
Yes, that platinum card.
That Black Trump platinum card. So needless to say, we highly support the president's... All right, President Trump. We highly support his platinum plan.
Yeah.
Because he's already proven, number one,
Yeah.
that he has policies that benefit the Black community. Number two, Joe Biden's been in office for 47 years. He's been in public office. And we will look at this historically in our next series, in part 4 of our series, about how some of his policies specifically have hurt the Black community.
And continues to hurt the community until 2016.
Yes. So we thank you for joining us again. And until next time, come back and see us for part 4 of the series.
If you can stick around for it long enough.